Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us right now from the Longview Lobos, head football coach John King. How you doing, Coach?
Doing fine.
How's things gone so far?
Well, 2 days of practice and the conditioning test. There's been some surprises, let's put it that way.
In what way?
Some good, some bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, it's never as good as you think it is, and it's never as bad as you think it is either. But we've got, a few days to get prepared for our opening game versus Capella on September 1st. So hopefully we'll be ready.
So have you got them like the Three Stooges with the Dallas Cowboys? Just got them running the asthma field for a few days?
Well, I guess you could call it that.
Okay, fair enough. We'll let it go. Coming off an 11-2 year, you went to the regional semifinals last year. You've won 10 games for the 8th time in 10 years. Talk a little bit about what that kind of winning tradition means to a program. Well,
our kids come here expecting to win, and that's a good thing. I want them to have confidence, believe they can win every game they can they play in, and it didn't just come because you have Lobos on your chest. Our kids need to understand that complacency will be the thing that can turn a good year into a bad year. Our kids and players are working hard right now to make sure that doesn't happen. But no doubt that our kids come to Longview High School expecting to win, and we have a chance to win most every game that we play in, and that's a good problem to have.
One good problem you have is you got a defense that's loaded with 8 starters coming back. I want you to talk to me. I saw a quote in Texas football that you called DeMarcus Lathan maybe the best player you've ever coached, defensive player at Longview. Did you say that? And if so, tell me a little bit about why you think that.
Well, I think he's the best all-around player we've had on defense. He not only can fit the run from an inside linebacker, but he can defend the pass. He's also good on the perimeter. He's a great open field tackler. He's a tremendous teammate, very humble with everything that comes his way, and nobody's going to outwork him. And just, he has all those intangibles. We've had some great guys that, could maybe play the run, but maybe not defend the pass. You want to get those guys in space, and DeMarcus is not one of those guys. He can, we're comfortable wherever he's lined up, whether we're blitzing him or dropping him in coverage or matching him up on the receiver. But he's always looking to get better, and he has the right attitude about things.
He's named the preseason Defensive Player of the Year in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Is he the best linebacker in the state?
Well, if you're asking for my vote, he gets it. But we've had that discussion. It won't be easy. He'll be a mark man. He understands that after being a 5A defensive player last year. It'll be a tough act to follow and tough act to repeat. But this young man has worked his tail off since the end of last season to now, trying to be in a position to help this football team be successful.
Tell me a little bit more about the rest of this defense and what you're expecting this year.
Well, you have about 4 or 5 guys that have been varsity players since they were sophomores. The 2 guys on the defensive line, Jalen Porter and Cornelius Williams, have both been starters and played important roles the last 2 years. Torrin Shepard, who mirrors DeMarcus at the other linebacker spot, was also promoted in the middle of his sophomore year. Nakia Brown and Jalen Lawson in the secondary. Those guys were and Jacoby Redden. They have been promoted since their sophomore years to the varsity level. You take those 5 or 6 guys, and then you have guys like Corey Bartley and Stephon Maxey, who had tremendous years last year as first-time varsity players. And I feel like we got a good nucleus over there to build around. There's some other important guys, that's got to fill important roles, and can they handle the speed of the game under the Friday night lights is going to be the big question. They've held up well so far in spring practice, with what we did those 15 days and what we've done the last 2 days in fall camp. So if we can get everybody on the same page, play with a reckless abandon, be unselfish, and do things that they're asked to do, I feel like they got a chance to be good.
Now, on the other side of the ball, you only have 2 guys coming back, but one of them's Bivens Caraway. That's a nice place to start when you got a quarterback like him that you can bring back.
Well, no doubt you can install things a little faster when you got a returning quarterback. The terminology and the language offensively comes second nature to him, as opposed to exposing a young kid to the terminology of what you want to do on the varsity level. So things come a little bit easier to him than they do to most. He's got tremendous arm, tremendous football mind, got leadership qualities. He's got all those things that you need to lead a football team from the quarterback position. He knows how to manage a game. He's very unselfish. Knows how to get the ball to the right playmakers and doesn't make stupid decisions. Saying we have two starters back, the other one would be Vernon Hutchinson. He started 13 ball games last year as a sophomore for us in the offensive line, but you got to factor in also the play of Colin Jeter, who played a lot of minutes for us, Torrey White, who played a lot of minutes for us at tailback, and receiver Justin Spady. So, we may be just two returning starters back, but I think you got about 5 or 6 that had a lot of playing experience that gave you quality minutes last year, and they're going to give you some leadership going in this fall.
Now, back to Caraway real quickly, and you mentioned decisions. The numbers just jump off the page, when you talk about a guy throwing for 2,400 yards and 22 touchdowns. But the thing that blew my mind when I was looking at it, only 5 picks and 233 attempts. That's impressive.
Yes, he's smart with the football, and there's times he'll try to thread one in there because he has that kind of arm strength, but the funny thing is we scrimmaged Hallsville last year and threw 2 picks and in the scrimmage no touchdowns, and turned around in the course of the regular season and playoffs he has the numbers you mentioned. But he's smart with the ball, and he had some tremendous athletes that he was throwing the football to last year with Eric Hawkins, D.T. Jackson, those guys, and DeAndre Wilson. They did a great job of catching the ball for him and making some plays whenever he had to fit it in tight spots. But hopefully we'll have some guys that fill those voids this year.
Is your biggest challenge then, when it's all said and done, rebuilding that offensive line?
Well, it always is a challenge, but I feel quite confident in what we were able to accomplish, during spring practice and what they've retained going into the fall camp. The last 2 days have been pretty decent. We got a chance to be good in the offensive line. It all comes down to chemistry. Can 5, 6, 7 guys play together, play in unison, and then be able to communicate calls and be unselfish and not try to find the easy way out. And to me, that's the big thing about an offensive lineman. You don't need to find one that's going to make an excuse why they couldn't make a block. They need to find a way to get it done and understand where you're weak at and try to stay away from that and exploit the strong suits of your unit.
Talk too about the change, the different look in your district this year. DeSoto's out of there. I guess you're not too heartbroken about that, right?
Well, initially I wasn't, but I tell you one thing: we had 2 great matchups the last couple of years. Of course, they're always great when you win, but we're going to miss those guys. That was something our kids looked forward to getting up for, because we knew the quality of opponent we faced, and our kids. Normally, the better the team, the better we perform, but there's no doubt that every time they snapped the football, you held your breath. They were quite talented. But we lose DeSoto, welcome in Rockwall Heath, which, people, I hope they don't go to penciling wins on that just because they're not DeSoto. But, Rockwall Heath was a 12-1 playoff team last year. He's got a lot of their football team back. And Rockwall High, the 2 times we played them in 04 and 05, it came down to a field goal in the fourth quarter touchdown for us to sneak out a win. So I know they're well coached and they'll be well prepared for the Lobos. And not to mention Mesquite, who played 3 rounds deep, has about 12, 14 kids coming back off that football team. Mesquite Horn, who was other playoff team out of the district, who they're as talented as anybody, and it's given us a run for our money the last couple of years. And then, of course, Tyler Lee, the new coach, North Mesquite, trying to get back in the playoff hunt. It's going to be an interesting race.
Always is. Coach, thanks very much for your time. We wish you the best of luck. Hope you have a great rest of the 2-a-days and August drills, and then hope to be talking to you down the line about a lot of wins this fall.
Sure hope so. Thank you, Brian.
All right.